And it's not just people, you could even extort the government. All you have to do is teleport into space, find an asteroid, and threaten to push it into Earth unless your local government pays you $3 billion. Here at the Stevens Performing Arts Center is today's Central High School Speech and Debate Showcase. Every year, our high school speech and debate team performs a showcase to show the parents and our incoming freshmen what it's like to be a debater.
Mr. Kosh Cody, he's going to nationals in extent to impromptu speech by Akash Cody.
Imagine that you had the ability to go wherever you want. And I mean wherever. I mean, wouldn't that be cool? Like, imagine of all the places you could want to go. If you could name 3 places that you want to go, well, you could go to all of them, and you could go to even more. That thought sounds super, super cool. Which is why when I'm asked the question of if you had a superpower, what would it be and why? My answer, portals. The ability to have and generate portals out of thin air. I say this for 3 reasons. Firstly, because it would make your life so much easier. Secondly, because you can do what everybody secretly aspires to do and extort people for ransom. And finally, you could even create some really cool mechanisms and contraptions that could change the world for the better. But first, let's be a little bit greedy. Let's talk about ourselves. So, how can we use portals to just make our own lives better? Well, one way we could do this is, for example, getting up to, go do dishes or make breakfast or the usual things that you don't really feel like doing, but you just have to. Well, if you had portals, even though maybe the whole thing might not be completed immediately, you can get rid of one of the most annoying parts, which is just having the willpower to go and get up out of your seat. All you have to do then is place one portal right next to where you are, another portal right in your kitchen or in your living room or anywhere else you want, and all you have to do is step right through that portal and bam, you're there in an instant. I mean, that's really awesome, isn't it? And that's just one part of the process. There are loads of other really fun things you can do with portals. For example, if you're a little bit of a trickster and want to just scare your friends by surprising them out of nowhere, it might be a little bit hard to do that if, for example, you're just trying to creep up on them just behind them, because let's face it, your footsteps are probably very loud and they're going to notice really quickly. But if you have the ability to use portals, place one portal where you're at and another portal just next to where they are, and at the moment you walk in, you can scare them and they will be scared out of their mind. And that's great, right? I would want to do that, you would want to do that, everybody wants to do that. So, teleportation using portals is genius to help make your life better and to torture other people. That's why we're also going to use ransom as a great opportunity in order to use portals to your maximum advantage. Now, I mean ransom in all ways. For example, if you had the additional power of knowing where people are, you could probably be able to extort people by just saying you are going to creep up into their house at night and annoy them. There are many different ways you could annoy them. We'll talk about that later. But the important thing about what's going on here is that you could extort people for all sorts of things. And it's not just people, you could even extort the government. All you have to do is teleport into space, find an asteroid, and threaten to push it into Earth unless your local government pays you $3 billion. That also sounds pretty awesome, and whether the legality of it or not may be questionable, it is still a great way to increase your own wealth and also just be, you know, a silly little doofus. And doesn't everybody love that? So you could extort people for ransom. But there's one other pretty important way in which you can help change the world, in fact for the better, just by using portals. And that is by trying to create free energy, through which you could potentially help save millions of lives. This right here is not a joke. Theoretically, if you placed one portal like this, and another portal like that, and then took a little metal beam or any kind of object, and you put it in the middle, it could start just going like that, infinitely. Then, if you could put a coil around that, you could, theoretically, produce infinite energy. No longer will you have to suffer the cost of energy bills, and nor will anyone else. So theoretically, using this, you could create free energy that could help save millions of lives and change the world for the better. All these lights, you just need 2 portals, a metal object, and a coil, and you could change the world. And that is pretty awesome. So, when I'm asked with the question, if you had to pick a superpower, what would it be and why? I would wholeheartedly select the ability to generate portals. Firstly, because it'd make your life so much easier. Secondly, because you could extort people or your government for ransom. And finally, because you could create energy that could change the world. So, once again, I ask you to imagine the ability to go anywhere you want in a fraction of a second, in the snap of a finger. And now, you can think of all the other incredible things you can do just with the power of portals.